Hi, Eric. Thanks for calling. And yes, I'm president of the Slovak British Business Council.
I got it right then.
You got it right.
That's the first time ever, for goodness sake. for me, it's a miracle.
Well, it's good to be talking to you again. I mean, we launched the SBBC the same day and in the same place in Popred as RTI.
In 2005, yeah.
Really happy to see that you're expanding and going from strength to strength.
We do aim to please. Or was that aim to upset? I don't know. What? Yes. Well,
anyway, aim to make a lot of noise. Let's put it that way.
Well, that's the only way. I think actually, David, that's one thing that both Slovakia and the UK have got in common.
It's true.
We're not very good at actually selling ourselves too well. Both countries.
But there's a lot there that's kind of that's good to find if you take the time and the effort to look for it.
Absolutely.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm on that subject. I mean, the SBBC in Britain tries to promote and tries to help companies in Britain that want to do business with Slovakia, and I was really very pleased to see your announcement that you've launched Welcome to Slovakia in Popred.
Thank you.
And that we've got somebody to work with in Popred who can help British companies who want to come to Popred and do business.
Yeah, yeah. I think the other thing that I've been slightly overwhelmed with, to be perfectly honest about it, and I do have to say overwhelmed with, is the way in which both government, locally and nationally, and big business have got behind the project very quickly.
It's really good. I know that there's a lot of enthusiasm in Slovakia. There's a lot of they welcome foreign companies and foreigners who want to come to Slovakia, who want to do business there. There's a lot of support available. It's not always easy to find the support. You need the help of people like Welcome to Slovakia or of the Slovak British Business Council.
Yeah.
But once you find the door and get through it,
right,
there's a lot of people behind it who are more than happy to support and help you in whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah, and I have to say, I'm going to get in so much trouble for this as well. Here we go. What was even
trouble ever being a stranger?
Yeah. What I also found really fabulous, and I'm really embarrassed I can't remember his name now, but I'll find it for you. Tomasz, who actually works for a big law firm in Bratislava. And apparently he heard about this because it was plastered all over Google, which I thought was very nice. And the first thing he did was say, look, I've built all this stuff. It is ready, and it's the headings are doing business in Slovakia, employment in Slovakia, investment incentives, taxes in Slovakia. And we've put together these big things that companies can download. And it's free.
Yep.
It's a lawyer not charging money. I couldn't get over it. It was a bit much for me to cope with, SB. Sorry, Tomasz. But, I mean, and when you've got people like that working with you, and you can take a lot of the myths away, then everything becomes so much easier.
Yeah, it is. And it's always worrying for companies and for people when they're going to a foreign company and trying to do business there. There are always a lot of things that worry you. Just because you don't have as much information, you don't know as much about the company. And through these details that you can get through Welcome to Slovakia, through these kindly provided by Tomasz, you can find out a lot before you even go near it. Things like that just make it so much more. I mean, there are a lot of people who don't know that Slovakia is in the European Union, which means that all the protections from the European Union apply. And I know, again, in Britain, I know a lot of people complain about the European Court of Justice and things like this, but actually, when you're dealing in a foreign country, it's really reassuring to know that there is the European Court of Justice there.
Yeah, I think what I would say, rather than more trouble, rather than just papering over the cracks, as it were, David.
Yeah.
Slovakia is the same as any other country. I don't care where you go in the world. There are predominantly good people, and there's always one or two that are a bit of an idiot. That's the same everywhere.
Yeah, fair enough. Yep.
All right, and that is true wherever you go. But what you do find here is 95% of the people here are dead keen to work, dead keen to get on with stuff, dead keen not to sponge from anybody. The communications infrastructure, I always laugh about it, because when I worked in London, I would go to my head office in Lincoln's Inn Field, and what would happen? The mobile didn't work. Never worked. I can go down a bloody great hole or up a mountain here and it works.
Yeah.
The communication infrastructure is absolutely super. And now that you can, I mean, somebody came here 10 days ago. It was actually quicker for him to get to his office here from the UK than to get to Scotland from the UK.
Oh, I know. I mean, I've had that. There was a day when I was going to work up in the northeast. I had a client I had to see up there, and Mariana, my wife, was coming to Slovakia because she had a business meeting here in Slovakia. And we both set out in the morning, and she got to Bratislava. This is from London. She got to Bratislava before I got up to the northeast into my meeting. You know,
it is a bit crazy, isn't it? It is a bit daft.
Well, you know, and I have to say, actually, that things being what they are, I would have much preferred to have been going to Slovakia than anywhere in Britain. I really like... the reason I'm president of the Slovak British Business Council is because I really like Slovakia. I think there's a lot of potential in the country that's unrealised, and there's a lot of really nice people that I like. Almost everybody I meet in Slovakia, almost all the Slovaks I meet, I actually like them as people. I like the attitude, I like the kind of energy and the enthusiasm. I like, you know, and they want to work with you, they want to talk to you, they want to learn from you, they want, you know, they want to make their way forwards.
Yeah.
And it is so refreshing and it's so rewarding, having spent more than 30 years working in Britain, where frequently these things are, what can one say, it's something of a problem. It is very rewarding to work in Slovakia.
Yeah, I think I often get asked how I could summarise Slovakia in one sentence, and the only answer I've ever got is it's like being in England 25 years ago.
I'd put it a bit further back than that, but yes,
right, 30 then.
They still, you know, if you talk about the social side, on the social side, quite definitely, the Slovaks still retain the traditions of family and community and care for other people. On the business side, I wouldn't say it's 20 years behind.
No, it's not.
Less than that. They're catching up very fast. It's somewhere on the order of, you know, somewhere between, let's say, 5 and 10 years behind, depending on which area you're dealing in. Some areas it's further behind. So telecommunications, you know, mobile phones, as you were mentioning, telecommunications, all this kind of business, they're up there, you know.
It's almost embarrassing for an English person, actually. But what I would say on the business front is that whilst there are some bits that are still a little bit behind, for the most part, especially with the more recent changes in employment law, in electronic workings and things like that, whereas when I first came to Poprad and Slovakia, it was a paper nightmare, that has been reduced dramatically in the last 2 years. Obviously you can go to the SBBC site, you can go to Welcome to Slovakia, whichever way you want to come at it, and just to be able to go do videnia. It's fabulous, isn't it?
It is indeed.
It is absolutely fab. Which leads me nicely into the fact it's about time we played. My God, it's nearly ad break time. I'm going to have to shoot.
Anyway, ďakujem veľmi pekne. Eric, do videnia.
Do videnia.